A very good evening to you all, and I extend a warm welcome to all the distinguished guests and delegates to this Pan African Awards Ceremony 2015. Now, I would like to call upon Mr. M.A. Waheed to conduct further proceedings of this award ceremony. Mr. M.A. Waheed belongs to Indian Forest Service, 1999 batch, former Commissioner of Minorities Welfare with Government of Telangana, and now associated with NGOs working in the field of welfare and educational development. He'll take you through the end of this ceremony. Can I have Mr. M.A. Waheed on the dais? Huge round of applause for Mr. M.A. Waheed. Thank you, everyone.
Good evening and welcome to Pan-African Special Universal Awards Ceremony and Notifications 2015 here at New Delhi. Respected, distinguished guests and audience, I'll take you through this award ceremony, but to begin with, I will call upon Mr. Muhammad Abdul Najib, International Ambassador for Peace, to please come on to the dais and preside over the function. Award ceremony. Mr. Najib to please come on the dais. I request Sri S.M. Hussaini Saeedul Khadri, President of Khadriya International Organization, Hyderabad, to please come on the stage. I request Muhammad Muqtadir, International Ambassador for Trade, South-South Cooperation, International Human Rights Observatory, to please come on the stage. I request Nirmal Kumar Jain Sethi, General Secretary, to kindly come on the dais. I request Dr. Anthony Oha, Secretary General of Nigerian IHRO, to please come on the dais. I request Bachchan Kumar ji, Head Southeast Asia, Indira Gandhi National Center for Arts, to please come on the dais. Dr. Bachchan Kumar ji. I request Mrs. Rubina Javed, Supreme Court Advocate, to kindly come on the dais and be the part of proceedings. Ladies and gentlemen, this award ceremony has been planned for the last couple of weeks, and we have been working on this. And in fact, there are two categories of awards. One will be given by the Khadriya International Organizations for the outstanding work done by the heads of states from Nigerian countries, from African countries, in the field of education, science, and humanitarian affairs. That will be given by the president of Khadriya International Organization. Now, a brief introduction of the people on the dais. The person sitting in the middle, presiding over this program, is Mr. M.A. Najib. He is Ambassador for Peace, Chief of Operation Humanitarian Affairs and Community Development, appointed by IHRO. Recently received Peace Award for his great services in African continent by University of East London. As the International Peace Ambassador for UPF International, they worked to support and promote the activities of United Nations around the globe, with special focus on African continent. Ambassador Najib is dedicated towards peace and humanitarian work, a humble and very simple man. Please help him. Please give him a round of applause. Now, before we launch onto the awards ceremony proper, I would like to give you a brief account of the connections which the Indian subcontinent had with African continent. I would take the liberty of reading it out for you all. The Indian subcontinent and the continent of Africa have been home to two of the oldest civilizations in the world, the Indus Valley civilization and the Egyptian civilization. Both these early settlements have been discovered to have had a vibrant past in terms of culture, science, and invention or trade. The first recorded trade and commercial contact between India and Egypt dates back to 130 BC. Around 120 trade ships were sailing each year from modern-day Al-Qusair in Egypt to India. Subsequent records show that the kingdom of Aksum, the modern-day Ethiopia, also began trade links with India as well. African traders sold gold, silver, topaz, and ivory and took home Indian cotton, silk yarn, rice, wheat, etc. In fact, it could be safely said that Egypt has preserved the traces of the millennia-old trade by using the Indian cloth for wrapping of the Egyptian mummies. It was during these days that the ethnic group of people we know today as Siddhis migrated from Africa to the state of Gujarat in India and settled down. This is not the only incident of large-scale migration by groups of people from Africa to India or vice versa. Throughout the course of history of trade and transport, merchants, soldiers, craftsmen, and general population migrated from one region to the other and settled down as residents. This history of trade of goods, services, people, ideas, and inventions laid the foundation for bonding of India and Africa over the most important issues that both regions were trying to deal with during the 19th and 20th century: colonialism and racial discrimination. The combined struggle against this began when Mahatma Gandhi, still a practicing lawyer in South Africa, had faced racial discrimination several times. Mahatma Gandhi lived there from 1893 to 1914 and had made himself a champion for the cause of freedom. Gandhiji became the leader of colonialized people first in South Africa. He started his first political formation in South Africa by establishing the National Natal Congress in 1894. Africa was the first place to become the experimenting ground for his method of satyagraha, which he propagated as non-violent passive form of resistance. But what Gandhiji actually did was to affect a number of national liberation campaign leaders, including Kwame Nkrumah of Ghana, Obafemi Awolowo of Nigeria, Julius Nyerere of Tanzania, and Kenneth Kaunda of Zambia in their own national liberation campaigns. Perhaps the man who was most successful in implementing and using Mahatma's method to fight apartheid was the late Nelson Mandela. Madiba called Mahatma Gandhi his inspiration and carried forward his work using the same principles. He once said about Gandhiji, India is Gandhi's country of birth, South Africa his country of adoption. Indian independence led the way for and set an example for decolonization of many African nations. Since then, India has established, secured, and friendly diplomatic ties individually with every single African nation. The Indian companies constantly venture into Africa and look for trade links and partnership opportunities today. We know from our past that India and African nations have always maintained magnanimous relations and friendship. And looking at the way we have continued to complement each other, help each other, and contribute to each other's share of wealth, culture, ideas, and economy, we can be hopeful of the fact that forums, meetings, and discussions like this will continue to take place and help us further our already firm ties of goodwill. This is a brief about the links, historical links between India and African continent. Now, I would call upon Mr. S.M. Hussaini Saeedul Khadri, President of Khadriya International, to come and have a few words, and then the notification and awards will start. Thank you very much.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. At the outset, I would like to thank the Almighty that who has given us the opportunity to conduct the function which will enable our Indian global image to emerge. And I would also like to thank Ambassador Najib and Mr. M.A. Waheed and all the dignitaries on the dais and the entire team who has worked so hard to make this function a success. And that includes Mr. Munir Qureshi Sahab, Mr. M.A. Razak, Mr. M.A. Khaisar Sahab, Mr. Harish, Mr. Subhani, Sayyida Azra ji, and all the others, team members who have worked day night. And I would also like to thank Muhammad Ahmad Qadri Saab, Chairman KM Kohinoor Infra, who has graced this function, and Mr. Sayyid Khaja Pasha Qadri and Mr. Zoha to attend this function. Before I give the brief on about the awards which is going to be presented to the head of the states of African countries, I would just like to introduce our organization, that is Khadriya International Organization. Our slogan of this organization is peace, tolerance, and respect. By the name itself, you can judge that this organization actually strives to promote peace and to teach tolerance and to serve the people with respect. The legacy of this organization is actually started from Hazrat Yahya Pasha Qadri, who planted the seeds for Khadriya International, a social organization with the sole aim of serving to humanity with peace and tolerance. The inspiration behind the formation of this organization is long felt need to work for humanity irrespective of caste and religion. The prevalent atmosphere of hatred among the communities needs to be addressed. The extremists and extreme outfits which create negative atmosphere in the world must be taught peace and tolerance. In today's world, there is a bloodshed everywhere. Deliberate misinterpretation of holy books is leading to hatred and strife the world over, and deaths by the tens of thousands every day. Some individual and extremist groups are manipulating youth, which is leading to a complete breakdown of trust, safety, and peaceful existence among the brothers. Energies that can be channelized towards the upliftment and betterment of the humanity are being used for destruction. Khadriya International understands that youth drafted into extremism by hardline groups are used to meet the deep, hidden agenda of such people. Knowing that fact, some youth tend to be highly impressionable and easily swayed by the negative inputs of the hatred towards the other communities. The organization is playing its major role and significant role to prevent them from drifting towards extremism. The organization is committed in its work in the field of education, welfare and charity, interfaith and intercultural harmony towards a large objective of promoting global peace. Khadriya International aims to have a world away from extremism and towards a more tolerant society where diversity is accepted, where an individual's beliefs are respected and where energies are channelized towards a social and economic upliftment. Qadria International are grounded on the belief that peace can only prevail in the world only if we learn to tolerate and respect the faith, culture, progress, prosperity, and perspective of others. This goal can be achieved only by dialogue among the respective stakeholders. Qadria International is to endorse humanitarian activities beyond religious attributions. The collective programs being run by the organization are the testimony to their aim, along with a major success by inspiring the people and the society. Many youth and elders have forfeited the practice of dowry after attending lectures organized by Qadria. Qadria organization is conducting several programs, which includes Hunarmand Ladki. In this program, we are giving the skill training to the girls of Mehendi design, fashion design, and the tailoring and other skill works so that they can be empowered and they can be able to achieve their livelihood even by doing their household works. Qadria International is organizing a Khidmat or Ihtiram program. That means a service with respect. In this program, Qadria International provides blankets in the old age homes, and they provide fruits and other useful things in the government hospitals where patients are admitted and they could not get the proper food and even proper clothing. There, Qadria International is trying to help those deserving people. Qadria International has established free drinking water camps in the city of Hyderabad, India. And this program is named as Sakha. And the fourth one is Roshni program. In this program, Qadria International adopts the children's educational expenses and provides free books and notebooks and textbooks to the students having a economically low background. And Qadria International in this program also provides plates, glasses, and other utensils to the government schools where midday meals are served by the government, but they don't have proper utensils to even feed them. So Qadria International is providing them these sort of help actually to get the food in a hygienic manner. Qadria International also arranges a program called Taqreeb-e-Shadi, and this is very much famous program of Qadria International. In this program, we actually arrange marriages for the poor girls. And in this program, we try to select those girls who are educated but are from the economical weaker section. So we actually try to get bride and groom together. In the groom belongs to the higher side of the economical side. That means the groom is richer one and the bride is the, she is poor enough. So we try to make such matches and give the whole expenses of this program will be paid by the Qadria International. And we also do a silent screams. That means Qadria International won't tolerate any sort of atrocities in the world. We raise our voice in a peaceful manner. And irrespective of caste, religion, and the place, we actually raise our voice. Anywhere there is a bloodshed, we raise our peaceful voice against those atrocities. So Qadria International actually is working hard to bring peace, tolerance, with respect in the society. And regarding today's function, this honoring distinction of the head of the states of the African countries is done in association with Khadria International and the Association for United States of Africa and Diagnostic and Strategies Consultancy Services in order to congratulate and encourage the efforts so far made by the prominent world personalities for their concrete, efficient actions in Africa for promoting and improving the standard of African countries in the area of education, science, and humanitarian affairs. After adoption of evaluation of first-hand ground assessment, sectorial report made by a pool of prominent Pan-Africanist independent experts under the supervision and coordination of the Association for the United States of Africa, the international jury of the International Organizing Committee, which was set up by Khadria International Organization, has approved to confirm to honor their excellencies. And Khadria International today announced that the head of these states, their excellencies of Angola, Rwanda, Liberia, Uganda, Congo, Democratic Republic of Congo, Cameroon, South Sudan, Kenya, Somalia, Gabon, Sierra Leone, Mali, Senegal, Nigeria, Ghana, Namibia, Burkina Faso, Morocco, Equatorial Guinea, Tunisia, Chad, Algeria, Tanzania, Djibouti, Ethiopia, and Zambia. Mr. M.A. Wahid will read you all the names of His Excellencies who will be presented this notification of the Pan Universal Special Awards, which will be presented by Khadria International to these head of the states of these countries. And this will be done in the due course of time after taking the proper appointment from them, either in India or in Africa. The Khadria International team will visit those countries and present these awards to these head of the states. Their excellencies will accept these awards in Africa or in India in the given time, inshallah. And now I would also like to thank all of you who have gathered here to encourage us to do these sort of activities, which is actually aimed to improve the global image of our country and also strengthen the relationship between the India and African continent as a whole. Thank you, all of you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Saidul Khadri, President of Khadria International Organization, for his message. Now, before we go on to the notification of awards, I would like to introduce Mr. Muhammad Abdul Muqtadir, who is International Ambassador for Trade, South-South Cooperation, connected to International Human Rights Observatory, who is on the stage. He has a background of social work. He has been associated with human rights activities for a long time. He monitors social activities like prevention of child labor, takes up active work in the field of health and education. Welcome, Mr. Muqtadir, on the dais. Now, I will read out the names of the countries and the heads of states and request people available to come and receive the awards just in token of the receipt. And before that, I would like to invite Mr. Muhammad Abdul Najib, Ambassador for Peace, to kindly have a few words.
Wonderful feeling, great beginning, and a very beautiful evening with you all. Respected dignitaries, Honorable Ambassador from Nigeria, Madam Rubina ji, Mr. M.A. Wahi Sahab, Dr. Madhavi Jupaka, Mr.